أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وصلى الله على النبي الكريم. Your Excellency, the very able and indefatigable Governor of Enugu State, the representatives of Chief Justice, President of the Court of Appeal, the President of this special assembly, because he is the only one called President here. This is your constituency, and you've dragged me into it today. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I greet you in the best form of greeting. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Let me say how really delighted I am to be part of this year's MBA conference and to relish this company of learned people, as you lawyers always refer to yourselves. In the tradition I represent, learning is the highest endeavor on earth. As many of you here would know, the first command in Islam is to read. Read is the first command in Islam. And as our forefathers, the founder of the Sokoto Caliphate rightly said in one of his books, a man without learning is like a country without inhabitants. The finest qualities in a leader, in particular, and in people in general, are the love of learning, the desire to listen to it, and holding the bearer of knowledge in the greatest respect. Unquote. The business of governance and the settling of disputes, the Sheikh added, requires outstanding learning, keen insight, and extensive study. As the adopted and coerced chair of this occasion, and other distinguished learned people here, you can see why I will be very, very comfortable in this learned ambience and facing all of you. The MBA Annual Conference is a very significant event in our society because it is the largest gathering of lawyers who shape the practice of law and ensure that the ultimate objectives of law are realized in society. Law, as you know more than I do, is crucial to society because it maintains social order by setting standards for behavior, promotes justice by protecting rights, enjoying duties, and providing a framework for resolving disputes, and facilitates economic and social progress by providing a predictable environment for transactions and enabling social change through legislation. Without good law, societies risk descending into chaos, as there would be no established way to govern relationships, enforce rules, or ensure fairness and accountability. I understand that the theme for this year's conference is to stand out and stand tall. And when I say tall, no matter how short you are very tall. I'm not referring to the governor. I would like to believe that by this theme, You wish to deliver on the expectations of society on your professional mandate. This is spot on. Today, justice is increasingly becoming purchasable commodity, and the poor are becoming victims of miscarriage of justice, while the rich commit all matters of crime and walk the streets scot-free. That by this theme, you are resolving to out and toll on the scale of justice is certainly highly commendable. In other words, you are resolving to uphold the highest principles of the rule of law, precisely to ensure that everyone, including those in power, are subject to and accountable under the law, and that the law is applied fairly and equally, so that no one operates above the law. If you are able to do this, you would have addressed the core of the crisis of governance in this country. Law and learning are inseparable. At the core of the study of law is the knowledge of values, and justice is one of those core values that law is supposed to achieve. Justice is the foundation of stable human societies, and laws must endeavor to target justice as the ultimate objective. Going through the massive literature of the scholars of Sokoto Caliphate of yesteryears, justice comes across as a core value of the establishment of any polity. It is worth recounting the one verse of the Holy Quran that keeps inspiring scholars of the Sokoto Caliphate in their discourse on law and society. And I quote that verse in the Holy Quran, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Believers, be upholders of justice and bearers of witness to truth for the sake of Allah, even though it may be against yourselves, against your parents and kinsmen, or the rich or the poor, for Allah is more concerned with their well-being. Do not then follow your own desires, lest you keep away from justice. If you twist or turn away from truth, know that the Almighty Allah is well aware of all that you do at all times. I understand that this verse you find at the entrance of the Harvard Law School in Cambridge, Massachusetts in USA. During this annual conference, it is my hope that you also find time to address some of the issues that are pertinent to the future of our society. These three things are particularly important. You need to continue the efforts of law reform so that we can gradually decolonize our laws, bringing them closer to our values, our culture, and our history for relevance, efficacy, and sustainability. It is also my hope that we can find time to address the issues of social justice so that we can address the glaring inequalities in our societies and create a more integrated society with the kind of cohesion that can see us through these very tough times. The other issue is the access to justice. This is also very important considering the increasing costs of litigation and the consequences of exclusion in matters of justice for the weak and the vulnerable. Most countries around the world were precipitated by exclusion, which elicits resentment and propels people to conflict that I'm very aware of, having my military background, where I spent 31 years in the military. And my first posting from Nigerian Defense Academy was Enugu State. January 1978. I'm sure so many of you were not born by then. I was in Nsukka, and I find Enugu State as a home for me, and I always feel glad to come back. And that's why when the governor called me and said, "You learned I will be coming," I said, "Inshallah." And inshallah means God willing. But one of our top emirs, a retired Major General Emir of Zulu, passed on last week. So I had to stay back and attend the burial ceremonies and other issues. When I called the governor and told him, "Excellency, I won't be able to make it," and he tried to say, "Oh no." So I said, "Oh yes." Because whenever there's a no, there must be a yes. And we are the ones that always believe things are possible. And as Almighty Allah would have it, this morning, after I finished what I was doing yesterday, I called the governor. No, I called the president first. I said, "Guess what?" You say, "Well," I said, "I'll be coming, inshallah, this afternoon. Since the opening is at 4 o'clock, I will get a plane to bring me, wait for me, finish my 2-hour program, and then run out of town, even against the wish of my amiable governor, because he wished I could stay here till Tuesday. Unfortunately, no. So I'm happy to be back home, because this is home for me. And I believe we should all thank God for what the governor is doing, making Enugu a more habitable place for all of us. And as I said, I'm home. And I remember some 5 years ago, I visited Enugu at the invitation of the then governor, Buruburu. And I had a very good time going around Nsukka, my own city where I started work. And definitely, I really felt accepted, welcomed, loved, and I felt I shouldn't even go back to Sokoto. That's the Nigeria we've had some 40, 50 years ago. We must bring that Nigeria back. And you are the ones. You are the ones here who will do that very hard work, because you are the ones who interpret laws in the courts and whatever. So I'm happy to be here. I thank Almighty Allah that I'm able to make it. And I thank all of you, and thank the President who personally came to Sokoto to invite me. And now I'm happy I have not disappointed you, and I have not also disappointed my own governor. So let me wish you a very engaging and fruitful conference. We look forward to reading the communique. We look forward to reading the communique. We look forward to reading the communique and implementing it. That's one of our big problems in Nigeria. We do not lack very good policies and whatever. What we lack is implementation. So you here must swear by the laws you all know about. We will implement whatever you come out with. And with this, I thank you for listening. I thank you for the invitation, Mr. President and the Governor. And I thank you for listening. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.